Hello, Nectophiliacs? Are you here? There you are. You're still here. Please forgive me for the absence. I have a story from India for you tonight. This story is based on true events. So sit back, close your eyes, and enjoy the comforts of the dark. My name is Duraksha. I live in a place called Wadala in the city of Mumbai, India. Today I want to tell you the story of one of my friends, Aisha. Before I begin the story, let me tell you that the area where we live is located just next to a railway track. Though it's not really a slum, it is not very developed either. And in order to get clean drinking water, there is a community tap in the middle of the neighborhood. And every morning at 4:30, when the water comes, people have to stand in a queue to get the water. Aisha also used to get up every morning and stand in the queue to get drinking water for her home. However, every morning, by the time she would get there would already be a very long queue. So one day, she got up and went to get water at 3 o'clock. She thought there would be no one around at this time, and she would be the first person in line, so she could quickly get the water and get back home. Carrying a pot, when she reached the community tap, she saw a woman who was already sitting there in front of the tap. She felt relieved, thinking there was only one person before her in the queue. She thought, now I can quickly fill the water and go back home. She went near the woman and asked her, "Hey, are you the only person here for water?" To which the woman replied,
"Go away from here, otherwise I will kill you."
Aisha was shocked to hear the woman's words. She wasn't expecting that. She felt very insulted and thought maybe this woman was looking to pick a fight with her. Aisha was a brave girl. She replied, "Who the hell do you think you are, talking to me like that? Your dad doesn't own this tap. You can't tell me to get away from it." But then, as soon as she said this, the woman quickly got up and slapped Aisha so hard that she fell to the ground. Then she came and stood right in front of Aisha and said,
I told you to get away from here, but you don't listen. Now see what I will do to you."
When Aisha saw the woman's face, she was terrified. The woman's face had become twisted and scary, seeing which Aisha fainted and lost consciousness. After some time, when she didn't make it back home, her mother and her brother came to the tap looking for her. They saw her lying unconscious near the tap and quickly took her back home. But upon reaching home, they noticed that Aisha's face had become twisted. For 2 days she remained unconscious. Nobody knew what had happened to her. Her family got really worried seeing her like this. Then, 2 days later, when she finally came to, her parents took her to many doctors, but her face remained twisted. At this point, let me tell you that she had been supposed to be getting married in 2 months. Her parents had arranged that marriage for her, and they feared that if her in-laws came to know of her condition, they would cancel the marriage. And that's exactly what happened. Actually, Aisha was possessed by a spirit, and every time that spirit would come into her body, it would make her do some really obscene acts in front of her father and brother. Sometimes she would expose her chest to her brother, or sometimes she would expose her body to her father. I can't even tell you guys what kind of acts she would do when the spirit came into her body. Eventually, her in-laws became aware of the things going on in her house and about her condition, and they broke off the marriage. Now Aisha's parents had become really worried. The people had started talking about all sorts of things about their daughter. So one day, they decided to take her to a very famous dargah in Mumbai, the Mira Ali Datar Dargah. This is a very famous shrine in Mumbai, known for exorcism of demonic entities and spirits from human bodies. But she was just not ready to go to a dargah. But somehow, her father and brother managed to drag her into the car and went to the dargah. But as soon as she stepped inside the shrine, she started abusing and swearing at everyone around. Then the Mulvi of the dargah made her sit before him and started beating the spirit with a peacock feather. That peacock feather wasn't hurting Aisha's physical body, but it was causing a lot of pain to the spirit inside her. The Mulvey asked,
"Tell me who you are, and why are you tormenting this girl?"
The spirit answered, "My name is Mina, and I used to live nearby in an area called Gordagon. I used to live there alone in a rented flat. Some girls from that area became my friends, and they started coming to my flat along with their boyfriends. One night, they all planned on coming to my flat and having a party with alcohol there. I was a simple girl, and I didn't like that at all. I tried telling them many times not to come over, but they wouldn't listen. One night, those 2 girls came to my flat with 4 other guys, and they started having drinks at my place. When I tried to stop them, they beat me, and those 4 guys raped me one by one. A few days later, those girls came back to my place along with those guys. I was very angry with them, so I hit one in the head with a clay pot, and I cut her head open. But then all those guys started beating me mercilessly, and after beating me, they took me outside and left me dying on the railway track. I died lying there on the track, and since then my spirit has remained wandering there around that railway track. I hate young boys and girls." Then the Mulvey asked her,
"I understand the wrongs that have been done to you, but why are you tormenting this innocent girl? Do you realize you have made her life a living hell? Why do you spoil her character in front of her family, doing all of these obscene acts?"
To which the spirit angrily replied, "I too was an innocent girl, but nobody cared about me. Nobody cared about my character, my image, so why would I care about her? I will keep insulting her in front of her father and brother." Eventually, the Mulvey was able to exorcise Aisha and got the spirit out of her body. But then just a few days later, Aisha committed suicide by jumping off their house's terrace. Because after all of those shameful, obscene acts which that spirit had made her do, she was unable to look into the eyes of her father and brother. She was too ashamed and decided to take her own life. And let me tell you that even at the time of her death, her face was still twisted. Her face never became normal, even after the exorcism. People in the neighborhood say that Aisha's spirit can still be seen lurking around the railway track. Many people have seen her, but she never hurts anyone. I do hope you enjoyed that story. Thank you, and welcome back. I have missed you.